Welcome to the Invite Health podcast, where our degreed healthcare professionals are excited to offer you the most important health and wellness information you need to make informed choices about your health. You can learn more about the products discussed in each of these episodes and all that Invite Health has to offer at www.invitehealth.com/podcast. First-time customers can use promo code podcast at checkout for an additional 15% off your first purchase. Let's get started.
Sometimes I forget, because I'm in the world of nutrition, that many people perceive healthy things as things that they want to avoid. And I came across an article where they were talking about a survey where they were assessing over 2,200 Americans, and they were talking about how they were skeptical of green juice. And they said it's the fear of just the look of it, the green juice. And they didn't want to have any part of it. And I thought that was really interesting. And they broke it down based off of different generational views. They found that millennials were certainly more likely to consider juices that had both fruits and vegetables in them, as opposed to when we're looking at some of the older generations where, maybe they grew up with tomato juice or V8, but looking at some of the green juices, maybe not their thing. So today I want to talk about how we can still include those people who maybe fear the green juice and a really wonderful alternative for you. So I am Amanda Williams, MD, MPH, and I want to talk about our Organic Greens Plus today. This formula is packed to the max with fruit and vegetable extracts, but fear not, it will not be green in your glass. It is a very unique blend, and the way that this formula is put together makes it incredibly unique and also very, very appealing to those who still have that perception of, I'm not sure about drinking that green drink. So this actually has a vanilla and kind of a cinnamon flavor to it. And the color itself is also in that same kind of creamy color, as opposed to a typical greens powder, which is going to be more earthy tasting and also definitely green. So for those where your eye dictates what you're going to consume, this is your alternative. And in the Organic Greens formulation, it's organic, which is very, very important. So this is USDA certified organic. It's made following CGMP guidelines. So that's the good manufacturing practices. This is just packed. And I have to stress this. It has pretty much any fruit extract that you can think of and pretty much any vegetable extract that you can think of is in this formulation. So we're talking about strawberry and blueberry and raspberry and grape extract and blackberry extract and bilberry extract in this. All of these fruits that we know individually do so much for our overall health. And then we look at all of the vegetables that are in this. There is cabbage extract in this. There is spinach extract and broccoli extract. All of these, beetroot extract, for example. So you are loaded down with powerful fruits and vegetables and herbs, things like parsley extract, for example, and there's turmeric extract, ginger extract, and then it has some really cool added nutrients in it. Things like spirulina, that we know is very targeted towards cellular detoxification. So we think about this and we say, okay, so if we use the Organic Greens Plus, it doesn't have that greens taste. It has this nice vanilla cinnamon taste. It's not going to be green in my glass, so that's a plus. So this is your alternative. So you can get your carrots and your collards, and as I mentioned, the broccoli, and you're getting chlorella extract and beetroot and flaxseed. All of these are contained in the Organic Greens formulation, but there is more. this also has a very comprehensive probiotic blend. So it contains within this powdered formulation Lactobacillus acidophilus, it has Lactobacillus rhamnosus, it has Bifidobacterium bifidum, Bifidobacterium longum is in this. So it is just a power punch of a formulation. And the reason why this is so important is because when we look at the scientific research looking at the health benefits of these fruit and vegetable based combination formulas and the role that actually plays in maintaining the health of our microbiome, and then we have the added good bacteria on top of this, just shows you why it's so beneficial. So in the Journal of Scientific Reports, they actually looked at the gut microbiome and they looked at the combination of the vegetable and fruit extracts and how all those powerful polyphenols and the oligosaccharides and the fiber and all of these components that we know that these fruits and vegetables possess, and the prebiotics that we know that they yield. So that helps to prime the intestines for that readiness for the introduction of those good, new, healthy bacteria that are contained in the probiotic blend. So they've done studies and they said, we know that these fruit and vegetable powdered formulations are becoming very, very popular. So let's do a controlled study where we can look at different clinical outcomes to really see, is there scientific evidence? I mean, clearly we know that we need to be eating fruits and vegetables. We know that most Americans are falling well shy of what they should be taking in every day. But interestingly, in this study, what they were able to look at was that those polyphenol rich extracts coming from those fruits and vegetables, I mean, you think about all of those antioxidants that are contained in each one of those individual fruits and vegetables, that actually helps to modulate, helps to support our microbiome. Hence, we are lowering inflammation. So through this study, they were looking at different data points. They were looking at body mass index. They were looking at the intestinal microbiome in terms of which bacteria were the predominant. And we know here in the United States, many times people have more of the bad bacteria than they do of the good variety. So all of these different things that they were looking at, they were also looking at the impact that these fruits and vegetables could have even on maintaining healthy blood pressure because of the ability to enhance nitric oxide release. So some really interesting finds and takeaways from this particular study. And it makes a lot of sense. Now, you have to keep in mind, you have to be using good quality raw material. So you have to source those fruits and vegetables in the right way, and they have to be processed in the right way, which is why we are using the organic fruits and vegetables. So we are bringing you only the cleanest of these extracts because we don't want things that have been laden down with pesticides because then we're adding insult to injury. So here's a study that was published in the Journal of Nutrients in 2013, looking at the antioxidant effectiveness of a greens powder on lipid and protein oxidative stability. Now, why does this matter? Well, because when they were exposing certain foods to these green powders, and they did this for a reason, because they said, well, let's look at it as though it was like a preservative in its own right. If these powerful antioxidants coming from these fruits and vegetables, would this do anything in terms of stopping oxidative damage that can be created in terms of storing foods, for example? And they wanted to really assess this. Would these dried powders coming from beetroot and broccoli and carrot and pepper, spinach, all of these, would these contribute to a health benefit in terms of improving the oxidative stability and decreasing the formation of toxic byproducts? And that's exactly what they found. So the way in which these fruit and vegetable extracts, like we find in the Organic Greens Plus, have been studied, show that it's so much more than just, the feeling of, yes, I'm being healthy because I'm having this really, powerful drink. We're actually seeing the true cellular impact that these have all the way down to our gut microbiome. So in the fact that the Organic Greens Plus also has those added in healthy bacteria, just make this that very superb level of cellular support. And we always want to be able to drive up our antioxidant capacity so we can fend off oxidative stress and free radicals. But we also want to make sure that we are always targeting inflammation. And the healthier our gut is in terms of that microbiome environment, the better off we are for easing inflammation. So that's kind of the takeaway that I want you to have. So for those who maybe fear that green drink, maybe it's just the color of it, you can't get over that, I wanted you to know that there is an alternative where you can still get all of those same nutrients, those same fruits and vegetables, and all of those wonderful herbal extracts, but it's not green and it doesn't have that earthy taste. So I think that you will absolutely love this formulation. Definitely go to our website and check it out. It is the Organic Greens Plus. And that is all that I have for you for today. I want to thank you so much for tuning in to the Invite Health Podcast. Remember, you can find all of our episodes for free wherever you listen to podcasts or by visiting invitehealth.com/podcast. Now, do make sure that you subscribe and you leave us a review. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Invite Health. And we will see you next time for another episode of the Invite Health Podcast.